Hey guys, welcome back to Inchworm Gardens. Today's October 11th, 2022. It is a beautiful, breezy fall day here in Middle Tennessee, 74 degrees. It's been a great growing season, but next week we have freezing temperatures in the forecast, supposed to get down to the 20s. So those temperatures will kill off a lot of the frost-tender plants that we have growing. So I kind of feel this is the last beautiful week of the garden. So I wanted to make a quick video, give you a full tour, show you everything that's growing, give you an idea for our plans for next year. And at the end of the video, we're going to do a big pepper harvest, so stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoy this tour. Let's get started. Alright guys, so this first plant we have here coming into the garden, this is our Mexican sunflower. Look how pretty this is. Really happy with this plant this year. This is only one single plant. It's over 8 feet tall, covered in these beautiful red-orange flowers. The butterflies absolutely love them. Oh, there's one right there. Really a fantastic plant. That's going to be a staple in our garden every year. Coming around here, so this big guy blowing in the breeze, this is our Celeste fig. So this is a tree we've had for 3 years. This is the first year that we've seen any figs, and as luck would have it, I don't think we're going to actually have time for these guys to ripen. There's a lot of green figs. I probably could have done something to trim these up to allow for the figs that are here to have time to ripen, but I didn't do that. I just kind of let them all go. So we have a ton of green figs, but I don't think we're going to get any figs this year. Next year, I'm really hoping for a good fig harvest. And this is also supposed to be a dwarf variety, the Celeste, but this thing is also about 9 feet tall, so not sure what's happening there, but we'll trim it back in the fall. All right, coming into the garden, you can see everything's a little washed out, a little, you know, it's the end of the season, everything's a little faded. A couple things I want to show you. First, check this out. This is the Black-Eyed Susan vine. This is 4 plants completely smothering this trellis. Really happy with this plant. Covered in these beautiful flowers. Makes a really nice entranceway to the garden. Another thing I wanted to point out, so this big guy growing here, I believe it's lamb's quarters. It is technically a weed that I let grow. I wanted to make a comment on that. I think it's a good idea when you're learning what plants look like when they're small, is to just let everything grow in your garden. You can always pull it out, you know, once you recognize it as a weed, something you don't want, you can easily pull it out. But before you just go in and start pulling out every little sprout that you see in your garden, I would encourage you to let it grow so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Because this thing was coming up, I didn't know what it was, and I just let it grow, and now I see what it is. It's a huge, tall plant. It is edible, but not really something I want in the garden. So next year I will know to pull those, you know, pull those weeds out when the time comes. But for now, you know, it added some extra height, added some diversity there. So just a little suggestion is just let everything grow, and then so you can learn what things look like, and then you can take them out you know, when you want. This is a sweet alyssum. This bloomed in the spring, and now it's coming back in the fall. Really has a beautiful scent. It's really nice. We planted some pansies for the fall there. All right, let me just take you through the garden, see what else we got going. All right, so coming through here. First we have this okra. We've been getting a ton of okra. Our daughter Juniper absolutely loves it. She comes out here and harvests some. We cook it up with breakfast, and that's a really tasty plant. It grows really well in this area. This whole plant, this whole side is our greens. We did okay with them this year. The kale just gets decimated by cabbage worms and then these little harlequin beetles, which are like stink bugs. See if there's any on there. Yeah, here we go. These guys, man, they just destroy these crops. But we're hoping that they will grow back for the fall. As you can see, We have some nice new growth here, and this definitely, kale can survive cold, freezing temperatures, so hopefully we'll get some kale growing through the winter. A lot of this is tatsoi and some other frost-hardy greens, so hopefully we will still have some greens into the winter. This is a sesame. Sorry if the sun's a little bright. Let's see if I can get a good shot. So this plant here is black sesame. If you've ever wondered how sesame seeds grow, this is what they look like. And look, you can listen. Hear that sound, that rattle? So each one of these things is filled with black sesame seeds. Looks like a lot of them have already split. But let me see if I can find one at the top. Pull these out. Oops. Oop, that was a mistake. I just pulled the whole plant out. That's okay, it's ready to be harvested anyway, but you take these guys, you can turn them upside down into a bag and you can collect all these black sesame seeds. Okay, I'll just put that back in there. This is our ball basil. I think it's called piccolino. It's been really nice. We got a lot of good basil this year, made some good pesto. These green onions come back every year. This is a random melon. I think this was canary melon we planted here. That does not look like one, but I think because it was sitting on the ground it got misshapen. But we'll see if anything happens there. Kajari melon. I've never had real success with growing melons, and this year has been no exception. One wimpy little vine with one wimpy little melon there. Hopefully next year we can improve that. Here's a good little bunch of kale. The corn is done. We harvested the stalks and made a cute little decoration on our mailbox. So it's fun to grow your own fall decor. This is where the fennel was. We hosted a lot of swallowtail caterpillars. We brought them inside, turned them into butterflies because they were getting picked off by the birds, so I wanted to kind of help them out. But this is a wonderful host plant for that caterpillar, and we got to see that whole life cycle, which was really cool. Oh, and here's some down here. These guys are a little young. It's a little late in the season. I don't know, not sure if they'll have time to fully make it, but you can see they're beautiful caterpillars. They turn into beautiful butterflies. All right, this is our herb bed here. Just packed full of oregano, lemon, thyme. This orange lemon balm has been a really nice new plant for us this year. Really, really fantastic herb. Some more thyme, some other lemon balm. So the herbs are just going crazy. They always grow really well. Really nice thing to have in the garden. This is, we've had strawberries in this greenstock tower the past 3 years. This year I'm planning to remove all of these strawberry plugs and put them in different places. And I want to use this greenstock for growing other things like herbs, maybe basil, some flowers. I want to change it up this next growing season. So looking forward to that. The peppers have been really, really good this year. You can see why we need to do a pepper harvest. We have tons of ripe fruit here. So we're going to get a bunch of this. The tomatoes did okay. We had a really hot summer, and I think it got really hot and it was very early, so the flowers in high temperatures, the flowers can actually become sterile and not produce as well, and I think that's what occurred. So we did not get a great tomato harvest this year. More peppers. It's a shame because we still have a ton of unripe peppers, which I could go ahead and still harvest. You can of course still eat these green, but it's a bummer that we're kind of missing out on a lot of peppers there. But look at that, this is the ají cachucha. We are in no short supply of peppers, so I'm not too worried. This bed, there's some Swiss chard still coming up. That'll grow through the winter. See what else we got. These habaneras done really well. We're going to harvest all those today. The ground cherries. So man, my absolute favorite crop to grow, the ground cherries. We had a ton of them in this bed. They dropped all their seeds, and look at this. These are all volunteers growing outside of the beds, and they are loaded with fruit. Again, I don't know if they're gonna have time to fully ripen, but we have really been enjoying a surplus of ground cherries this year. We always grow some to share with the chickens as well. You see, I let these peppers just kind of sit on top of their chicken tunnel and they peck at them. Oh, here's an interesting thing that happened. Check out this pepper plant. Step over. So early in the season, fell over and broke in two places. The main stalk completely broke and fell over. So it laid down right here, and it completely did not even affect the growth at all. You can see it's still happy, healthy, leaves are good, tons of fruit. So that was a cool little act of plant resilience there. It's always a little bittersweet coming to the end of the growing season, you know? But I'm ready for it. The soil needs the rest, the gardener needs the rest, it needs the reset. So I'm looking forward to the next season. And of course the most exciting season is seed shopping and seed starting. So that's gonna be fun. This is actually sesame. I'm sorry, this is chia. This is a chia plant. If you ever wondered what chia looks like, you remember the little chia pets? If you let those grow out, this is what it looks like. For some reason it did not bloom at all. This is supposed to have like spiky blue flowers where you collect the seeds. Not sure why, but we got no chia seeds this year. All right, there we go. I think that's pretty much the whole garden. I am gonna walk around the side. I wanna show you the little berry patch around the side, and we have some more stuff growing in the front. All right, coming around the side of the house. Sorry if there's any wind noise. It's starting to get a little breezy here. So one success this year was succession planting the tomatoes. We planted this Berkeley tie-dye pink pretty late in the year, and we got a ton of tomatoes just recently. Just yesterday I picked off two real nice ones, and the past couple weeks we've been getting a lot of tomatoes coming off of here. And this is after all my main crop of tomatoes are done. So that was definitely something I want to repeat next year, is to do more succession planting. This is a little trellis I put up for raspberries. There's 3 different raspberry plants down there. This is just some random sugar rush peach that fell off of this plant down here. I kind of did some guerrilla planting of peppers. I kind of just inserted them in various places, which I'll show you around the front. This is Barry's Crazy Cherry. Again, this is a late planting. We've been getting a ton of nice yellow tomatoes off here. The kids just sit over here and snack. There's a ton of raspberries, blackberries. So this has been a really nice addition to the garden this year. All right, let me show you this front bed. All right, so the front of the house, we have some landscaping that we put in. These are some raspberries. I think they're called baby cake blackberry plants. They're supposed to be like a mounding variety, but they're stretching out pretty far. But here's what I wanted to show you is these peppers. You see I just tucked these sweet bonnet peppers over here. And some over here as well. So just kind of wherever I could find space, I put some pepper plants, and that has worked really well. And that's the main thing I wanted to show you. Oh, here's a little sneak peek of a new garden bed project. Check that out, just delivered today. Pallet full of stones. We're gonna make a nice little new garden bed right here. Here's the front of the house. There's those corn stalks I was telling you about. Oh, I had a couple people asking about the fruit trees that we put in last year. They're doing okay. This is an apple tree. It put on some good growth. I need to spray some horticultural oil on this because I did have some pest problems, and I need to be better about fertilizing. Really the whole garden. That is one thing that I failed on this year that I need to get back in, and that is fertilizing the garden. I really didn't even do any feeding of my plants, which I think did affect my overall production. This is our grapevine, the muscadine grape. That's growing well. You try to get it to the end of the trellis the first year, and then the grapes will come in subsequent years. Just coming down the creek path. The other fruit tree I'm really excited about is this Pakistani mulberry. This is growing really well. I haven't seen any fruit yet, but look at these nice big healthy leaves. Got high hopes for that guy. And then the last one was this cherry tree. This is a 5-in-1 cherry. There's actually 5 different cherry varieties all grafted on here. Growing okay, but again, pest damage. Sorry about that, my camera just overheated. All I was saying was that I was dealing with pest pressure and I need to get better about feeding and fertilizing the trees and the garden. So gardening is a growing and learning experience, which makes it so fun. But there you go, that's the whole tour. Stay tuned, we're gonna do a big pepper harvest. You saw all those peppers in the front and the back. We're gonna harvest them all. Let's do it. All right, so first we have the Sugar Rush peach peppers that I have stashed next to my Mexican sunflower. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, some good ones. Next we have the sweet bonnet peppers and the shishito peppers. Now you normally harvest shishitos when they're green, like that, but if you leave them on too long, they do turn red and they're perfectly good and tasty still. They get a little sweeter and sometimes a little hotter. So let's go ahead and get all these guys. All right, let's keep going. Next we have the ají cachucha pepper. Yeah. We'll harvest some of these unripe ones that have the pretty purple too. Ooh, this one looks extra yummy. Delicious. Just kidding. And these are the last of the ripe habanadas. I'm actually going to bring these up to my buddy who's a chef. He wants to use these. Ooh, all right, we are looking pretty good, but we still have 2 more plants fully loaded in the front yard, so let's go get those. All right, there we go. That is a lot of peppers. So we're gonna eat probably these shishitos fresh, and I gotta figure out what the heck to do with the rest of these. I'm gonna try to give away as much as I can. Now that just goes to show the absolute abundance that you can get from just a few plants. So I hope you guys get out there, grow some food, have fun. I hope you guys had a good growing season, and best of luck to you guys next year. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you on the next one.